Hey, good morning guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. In this video got a fair bit of different mixed information to help a wide variety of people, like always. And one of the things we're going to include, we've got a new MAF sensor here. It was a bit of R&TU and we've tried it on a couple of different vehicles just to let you know what the differences were. But before we get to that, I just want to share a little bit of information, like you don't want to be a silly Neil. Now there's been a few silly people that did some silly things, and we've got to share some of the information, not to belittle them or not for me to complain, but just to help everyone understand how we roll and the best way. So look, Neil actually contacted me for the first time on Monday the 11th of October at just around midday Melbourne time, which is actually a really good start. And his messages, he's included the right information, full name, vehicle details. So he's really done the right thing on a Monday. He's in WA, so the time's 2 or 3 hours difference. So that's what we sort of expect to see, late morning, that sort of thing. Because Monday's dedicated parts day, right? Everybody knows that because they listen to all the videos and they respect that, right? Because we're busy on the tools, as we've explained in videos. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays and all that. Friday's our day off, reserved to sort out other bits and pieces we didn't get to throughout there. Lots of different aspects of the business doing this 10 jobs I do. This is going to be a learning curve for some people, hopefully, but a lot of the guys that are onto it, they probably already understand. So Neil, he's got a 2013 Prado with about 175,000 Ks on it. He's from WA, okay? He asked for a price on the injector kit, saying, with this and that and the other and without these things, which is pretty good. Regards, Neil, which is all pretty peaceful, happy days, no dramas. So as I always do, I ask him if he has seen the video. You know the video, latest injector information? That's the one that you watch till the end with your pen and paper, possibly, just to let me know any items that you don't want. But most people just go for the lot, or they say, look, I don't need the tools, or it's getting done by, your recommended workshop partner, so we don't need those little extras. So just let me know what you don't need. Sent him the video. He replied saying obviously what he didn't want and what he already had. Happy days. I replied, I sent him the order, and no dramas at all there. And he replied saying, I got your message, because he hadn't replied for a while. So I do like to make sure everyone got the message. So I replied myself a little while after sending the message the next day. Did you receive the message? Okay. He said, yep, I got the message. I'll have a think about it and I'll get back to you. And I wrote, no worries at all, with the wink and the peace symbol, as we always do. This is where the problems begin. Then, in the middle of our long weekend in Melbourne on Sunday night at 8:11 p.m. That's right. And I didn't see the message, of course, because we have a work phone and a private phone. And on both phones, if you're not stored in the phones actually don't ring. I've said this before, don't ring. I'm not saying that he called, but don't ring me. It's text message service only. For those that missed it, I only work school hours. So that means concentrate on the hours that school normally operates in Melbourne. And that means kind of avoid most school holidays if you can. And I've said it before, watch all the videos. That's how you gather the information over the Christmas holidays and that. We're still here. We don't usually go too far. Might be a few days in the high country here or there, in and out, or a week in and out. But we can do parts at least one day a week. It might not be on a Monday. Try and stick to Monday. We'll take your order, and when we're back on deck for a day or whatever the case may be, we'll get all that gear packed and sent. Now, obviously, he was texting me late on a Sunday night because he wanted help, because he was probably having some difficulties or had some questions. And this is where the pitfalls are. Our kit is comprehensive. It comes from a lot of experience. It includes backup servers. It includes our VIP group, where there's hundreds of people that have done this job, not only myself. So you're likely to get help by asking the question in there within minutes. Okay, now, eventually, if, look, there's heaps of replies people get before I can even get to it, and they're usually true and correct. Obviously, if there's something wrong or extra information needs to be added, then I'll add it in there. If I just press like on all the other replies, then you can go, well, obviously that's right, because Ant said it's, he pressed like on it. So anyway, he had some questions, and that was that. Obviously, I didn't see the message. On Monday, we were on deck for a little while in the morning getting some parts kits sorted out for people. And he got a quick reply first thing Monday morning, basically saying, look, I'm busy to provide one-on-one service, especially for non-clients, okay? So one-on-one service will be, if you're a client, if you've been through the VIP group, we've done that, I've been tagged. I check Facebook regularly, you know, at least once a day sort of thing. I don't spend a lot of time on there. You don't need to do that. But if you're not on there, you're robbing yourself of the information and being part of the best group of people in the world, probably, to be quite honest. And you won't know that unless you're in there yourself. So a really good bunch of people, and it's just awesome, mate. I'm really proud of what we've been able to put together here. So the key thing is, once you join the VIP group, once you watch all those videos, you're well trained to do the job, and you're probably not going to have any problems, and you're going to avoid all the pitfalls, and you're going to understand everything because we've talked about it. If you've got any questions, you ask in there, someone can answer, perhaps I'll be able to answer. But then if there's still a problem, then you can text me, and then if need be, I'll make a phone call, that sort of thing. Now, if you've decided to go and buy your parts elsewhere, then obviously that's your decision, and perhaps you've made a wrong decision. A number of people, look, most people, they make contact, they gather their information. 99% of people that contact me are on a Monday, and they make their purchase at the right time, and they follow through, and it doesn't bother me those that don't. As I said, we are way busy here. We can't supply everyone. We can only supply the people that listen. Let's just hope that he didn't end up with reman, counterfeit copies, all these other sorts of things. Some old stock that doesn't have the latest upgrades, you know. Some places are providing some different products at the moment to fill in the gaps. There's a lot of reman being pushed. Remember, they're in the same boxes. If you want those, that's fine, if you know what's going on, but there's so many pitfalls. Anyway, it goes on. So I basically said, look, I'm in the middle of a job, so this is, you know, bang, I'm flat out organising all these kits for Monday, and in the mix I've got someone that wants, you know, general help, whatever, that isn't my client. So I've said, you know, I'm a bit busy sort of thing, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, that's why we have the VIP group for the clients. All the information's there. You can avoid the pitfalls, especially applies outside of, you know, school hours. So basically, if you do have problems, if you're going to text me, try and do it during school hours. Try and do it earlier in the week. Later in the week, we're just trying to get the work done, and obviously it is very busy, like what we're doing now. This is work, believe it or not. Doing this, I'm trying to help you. I'm providing the information to help avoid issues like this, like Neil. Don't be a silly Neil. Okay, now Neil, I'm sure he's awesome, but he's just made this little mistake, and where it goes a little bit further is that was my reply Monday morning, and I got no further reply from him. So he probably feels that maybe I owe him something. What he's forgotten is the only reason he knows what he knows is because he's been watching the videos and loving the videos just like everybody, right? Just absolutely loving the videos and the information. And he's forgotten that I've put in the time and given him that for free. And now he feels somehow that I owe him something, because what he's gone and done on a few days later, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, after Thursday night, he's gone on the comments there, and he starts writing, oh, this guy, you know, he's too busy to help anyone, but you know, but he replies saying he's too busy to help anyone. Well, yes, that's correct. What would you rather? No reply? Then we'd have you on YouTube complaining, or wherever you want to be complaining, oh, I text him, he doesn't even reply. So everybody, almost everybody I should say, because if you're too persistent or you completely do the wrong thing, you won't get a reply, but just about everybody gets a reply. Even if you've slightly done the wrong thing, peace dude, you'll get a reply, and it'll explain what you need to do and where you went wrong, and you can go, right, okay, and go back to that information, correct it, and then we can fix it up. If you've made a decision to go get your parts elsewhere, sorry, I'm unable to help. You've already passed that, you know, you're miles down that road. There's nothing we can do. Like somebody else texted me yesterday that went to a different place. Okay, it's not his fault again. He didn't know about me. He went to a different place, who got their injectors from a different place, which is, you just don't go there. You're going to end up with reman. Anyway, what he's got is a vehicle that's blowing heaps of smoke, and then he's gone to a different place. They've said, well, you know, we've checked, everything looks okay, but yeah, it's blowing smoke, but it's acceptable, but no guarantees. It's messy, right? And it's not, I said, it's not his fault. This is not to belittle anyone. This is just trying to share the information so we can avoid it for next time for those that are listening. Again, the ones that don't listen, they're the ones that are going to make the mistakes. So I hope you're still around. We're going to get to this in a moment, and we're nearly done. So he goes on, he's putting comments that, you know, this guy's too busy, but he's not too busy to reply, and then goes on saying, oh, you know, what, he's just crapping on. He's basically complaining. He's complaining, right? So, like, I'm complaining now. Well, I don't want to complain. I couldn't give a stuff, really. I'm busy. I haven't got enough injectors to supply everyone. We've just packed a couple more kits now. on, it is Friday, the day off, and this is what it's all about. We've got a few kits to tie off loose ends throughout the week. We've got to order parts, we've got to organise jobs for next week. There's so much we have to do, and this is included. So how we dealt with that? Well, we had to block his profile from YouTube because we can't be bothered dealing with your crappy comments of rubbish and garbage, and nobody else wants to hear it, and they were just going to say, mate, go get a life, right? So we're trying to help you out here. You can get a new profile if you want, or you can get and watch on YouTube without being logged in anyway, whatever you want to do, but that's the mistake you made. I've done nothing to you other than help you, and you've come along complaining. So we've just sort of had to save as much time as possible and block you off. And then we thought, well, how do we prevent this from happening next time? Bada bing, here we are now. So then I also texted him, I said, look, go and get service from them, wherever you went to, and he's missed the best info by not being in that VIP group. Anyway, it's his choice, right? But obviously I owe him nothing. And then he wanted to, then he texts me back, he wants to try and stir it up. Guess what, nothing from you, cha-ching, whatever. Talking about money, haha, money man, dollar signs and whatever, right? So, but, you know, it's just a bit, it got to a bit of an immature level, and, you know, here we are, just explaining it. So let's move on from that. Don't be a silly Neil. Peace, dude. I hope you're enjoying the videos. Understand you've got all the information for free. I don't owe you anything. If you'd gone down the other road and that was the one to continue through with your purchase, which is all very good value for money, includes VIP membership, you're in the most awesome group, as I said, awesome people. If I wasn't around anymore, that group's there and there's so many people that can help. Everybody's just going to figure it out. Between all those people in there, they know just about everything I know. So Encyclopedia Ann is going on YouTube, but there's a bit more and much more detail in the VIP group. And we're going to get there. We've got a long time to go yet of sharing information, but we need people to respect the times. So we're going to quickly go through those again. Monday's parts day. You can start the messages from 7:30 AM. Years ago I said in videos, you can text me anytime you like, doesn't matter, because, you know, the phone's on silent, whatever. That's cool, but it's probably not a wise idea. So that changed a while ago. I said, you know, this is why, because if everybody texts me on Saturday, Sunday, whatever, they just get, I go to check the phone every, you know, a few times a day in case there is an emergency or something urgent going on with that work phone. And once I open them and have a quick read, bing, 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 10 messages, whatever it might be, usually 1 or 2, but, you know, it can be sometimes more. Guess what? They're not marked anymore, and then Monday starts and we get busy, and those they just get buried. So don't do it on the weekend. Don't do it after hours. Hold it. And the people that do this right, I know, are listening to these videos to the end. So do it right. Monday's parts day. I understand if you're in WA, it's going to be later. Obviously a little bit in South Australia, Northern Territory, whatever, but WA. So everybody else on the East Coast, I expect to hear from you around between 8 and 9 AM Monday morning for all your parts orders, kits, or to follow up on getting booked into the Prada Hospital if you're after a recommendation for workshop recommended before diesel workshop partners, that sort of thing, Monday morning. After Monday, I shouldn't really hear from you unless on Monday I've said to you, can you please text me on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Suspension day's Tuesday, so hold those ones till Tuesday morning. As I said before, it's a public holiday or something like that. It pushes forward to the next day or the next week. Just see how you go. Plan well ahead, be patient. You'll get the best customer service in the world. We only ship to Australian addresses, simply a limiting factor because we're so busy. You know, I'd love to be able to service the world, but I'm not growing a big greedy business. It's just me doing as much as I can, and we do quite well. We get a lot done. I'm probably doing the job of so many people, but let's get onto this MAF sensor, right? This MAF sensor. So purchase this one for a couple of reasons. One of them, I don't know if you've seen the videos, but you should watch them all, and then you're just on channel with everything. You know, you don't have to go, oh, I better go back and check that one. You just watch every darn video as it comes out, and then it's like we've got a connection. You're all part of it, and you know what's going on, what's where, instead of going, oh, I must have missed that one. So start doing that now. Subscribe, turn the bell on, start watching the videos every day, and if you don't want it and you need to go back, maybe go back to the start, right, and have a laugh. Go, mate, this guy talks too much, this and that. You'll see the videos get better. So spend one, hopefully decent video, what's happening now, and some of the older ones, and just catch up and gather all that info. I don't know, how many is there, 1,000? That only means it's going to take you 3 years to catch up. So you better get started now, it's going to be longer. Right, so with our 120, we've got the P0400 quite regularly now. Never used to happen, it was every now and then. Something's changed, we've been through things one by one, it's all in the videos. The next step was, and I don't think it was this, but this MAF sensor, I thought I want to replace it because there has been a couple of small issues, not for us where we've replaced them, but where other mechanics or technicians or workshop partners have had issues where they've replaced the MAF sensor and it's fixed the problem. So sometimes you can't diagnose it, you know, you can do your tests, your resistance, all the things, and look at the diagnostic tool. Like that ECU problem, it wasn't diagnosable. It was a guessnostic that worked, okay? So first thing we did also with our Hilux, you may know that we've had some rattles and that, we're trying lots of different things, and I think it's pretty standard noise what's coming from it, to be honest. And the 170K injectors in it now are definitely noisier than the new injectors, but mainly when it's cold. So they're noisy when it's cold, where it wasn't noisy when it was cold before, really, you know what I mean? But when it was hot, randomly it would just do some pretty noisy rattles, like, in my opinion, but I think it's more of a Hilux thing. So anyway, we tried this on the Hilux, didn't make any difference to anything whatsoever. Took it back off, it's currently in the 120. This is the one from the 120. As far as I know, from everything I've seen so far, hasn't made any difference whatsoever. So don't waste your 250 bucks or something on one of those. Unless you've got a problem, keep watching the videos, because if anything changes and there's a problem that this fixes, we're going to let you know about it. Now, a couple other little things. If it is a Hilux or a 120, it's got a larger O-ring. Sometimes people push these in and they're a bit dry, or they don't get them straight or whatever, and it pinches this O-ring here and damages it, and then it's broken. Now, I've got other videos on that, so search those. Just search the word MAF on our channel, MAF, or MAF sensor, or O-ring, and you'll find in a video I say, hey, this is the, I even give you the size so you can get it at your local bearing shop or wherever you buy O-rings from. Or we can include those sorts of things. We keep them in stock somewhere, I don't know where. Nobody's asked one for ages, but I'm sure we've got some there somewhere. If you're buying any kits, injector kits, an SCV, whatever the case may be, what kits have we done today? We did an SCV on its own for someone that's already done injectors separately. We did some 1KZ injectors and glow plugs, right? Anything like that, or an injector kit or a BFE. We don't sell them separately. I'm just going to throw it in. It doesn't even matter, they're a couple of bucks, whatever. I'm just going to throw it in. I haven't got time for the small things. Hope you understand where I'm coming from. One person doing as much as I can. I've got some helpers every now and then, but that's not consistent. That's every now and then when I've got some helpers. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That's it. Oh, while we're at it, Hilux. We're about to fit a snorkel to the Hilux, right? Here we go. Now, you can go and buy a genuine Safari for $400 or $500, whatever it is. But on our old Hilux, you know, old Hilux 2013, I don't see the point in investing $500 into a piece of plastic. Okay, now on our old 120, same thing. Okay, it's a piece of plastic, right? See this? It's a piece of plastic, and people go, oh, the quality of the plastic will vary and all this, and it may or may not. I don't know. I'm not going to argue about that. I don't know. But the one that's been on our 120 for the last 8 years, and all the other cheap ones we've seen on cars, no, we don't see them fade, deteriorate, crack, or fall off, or break, or anything. I'm sure it can happen, but we haven't seen it, okay? We're going to have an installation video, because looking on YouTube, searching ever on the internet, there's no really good guide that shows all the detail you need to know to fit the snorkel. So we're going to have one of those. Now, what we've got in the kit, we've obviously got the main snorkel body. We've got the head, if you like. This is a piece of plastic, and there's one piece of rubber. Now, the weird part is with the Prados, which we've installed snorkels on, there's a section that looks like this, and there's a piece of rubber, which makes sense to join from the airbox to this, and from this to the snorkel, the main, you know, the main part. In my opinion, you can't clamp plastic. It's hard. You can't clamp plastic to make a seal. That's why on the head, for example, there's little cutouts here, so when you clamp it, that can actually squash a little. See that? See that squashing factor? But that doesn't need to be sealed this well. This, I would think, does. What's the point of having a snorkel if it's not sealed properly? Now, it's not in the Safari instructions or any other instructions on the internet how you deal with these components that came with it. Now, I can figure it out. Once we drill the hole in the vehicle, we've got it marked out at the moment. We've got some pilot holes drilled. We've put our studs into the onto the main section here with some Loctite. So we've actually made a start. That's why it's on the bench in the way. I wasn't planning to talk about it, but I just thought, you know what, little bonus bit of information. If anyone watches this to the end and has got any information that's good information, not guessing. I can guess, I can figure it out, but one piece of rubber and one piece of, now I've mucked around, there's lots of different ways I can make this work on the bench. Once we get it on the vehicle, I'm going to learn more by mucking around with it. I haven't installed a snorkel on a Hilux before. I don't install snorkels, so I'm certainly not the expert at it, but I know how to drill holes and do up nuts and put hoses on and put clamps, and I know how to make sure that it's going to be fitted so that it works well, and it will. But I was just looking for the official. If someone can say you don't use this bit of rubber, that's just whatever, because when we've taken airbox out, now I'll have to go back to the memory, but it seems like this is the section that the airbox is getting pushed onto. It could be wrong, maybe that goes there and maybe that, but maybe that's what it is, right? So it could be that. It could be that. I really don't know, I can't remember. This seems to fit on directly on the plastic of the front of the main snorkel, but again, the clamp isn't going to squash that to make it stay there. So perhaps I'm meant to RTV it on, and that's what I like, because that sort of very seals it, strong glue, permanent. And maybe it pushes back on the body in between so it's nice and tight so that it can't come out. I don't know. But if anybody watched till the end and they know anything about fitting snorkels on Hiluxes, if you put any information in the comments or a link to any sort of video or information that's good, that tells you about what happens between, that part's the easy part, drilling a hole and mounting that. It's easy to take the airbox out, obviously, I'm not a dum-dum, but what exactly happens to that once you've got all your guard liner removed, which way it's officially meant to go? Like I said, I can figure it out. I want to know the official. So these are copies of Safaris, right? All these things, lots of different brands, whatever, LDPE, whatever, right? Plastic. I want to know the official way this is meant to go and whether they expect you to clamp it, put RTV on it, to glue it. I've considered, I'm not there yet, but I'm considering, do we cut a slot in it so the clamp can crush it and all that sort of thing, because we've got 2 clamps, a piece of rubber and that, so it doesn't really add up anyway. All right, so something is missing. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you understand all that. Hopefully it's been helpful, and hopefully it helps us have a better relationship and communicate better with each other in the future. I've got no hard feelings. I'm not upset about anything. I just, wish people would respect the fact that I've given you the free information. I don't owe you anything. Ask me the question at the right time. You may have got a better response, but at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday when I'm responding, I'm flat out dealing. It's parts day. It's not answer questions day, right? And Sunday night isn't answer questions day either. But we have all these. Here we go. Let's have a look for the people that hung around to the end. Here we go. Look at all this before we go. See that top one? We don't use Messenger. There it all is. Okay, here we go. I just had to run off and receive a delivery. Important messages. We don't use Messenger. Why? It's simple. There's so many different communication. We've got phone, text message, then Messenger, and all these other platforms. We're not going on other platforms at this stage. If we do, it's probably because, we'll finish up with one or it stops or whatever the case may be. But at the moment, I don't see any reason to change from using text messages. Works really well for communication on a personal level, to purchase parts or to book into the Prada Hospital on Mondays. Okay, we have 2 pages visible for people in Australia. The top 2, see, workshop information page of Prada Hospital, and then the parts kits page, right? Okay, it even says it there, text, yada yada yada. We've got some Facebook groups. There might be some other ones, but Prado crew if you're in Australia, Oz Hilux crew for those 2 vehicles if you're in Australia. We've got these other groups for everybody else. 4x4 Diesel, get in that group. That is the Facebook group, same name as this channel. That's the sort of place, if it doesn't matter what vehicle you've got, the reason I designed and put that group there is so, I don't care if you've got a Mazda or a Nissan or whatever, there's a whole heap of people watching this channel, they're doing their research, and they probably didn't get to the end though, because maybe they're overseas, it's not relevant to them because there was a lot of parts purchasing information, but hopefully they hung around. That was me fishing. That was the hook. That was meant to hook you. I'm going to tell you about that, so stick around. Some people press fast forward, some people stuck around, some people didn't stick around. You get that, it's what it is, right? But I'm here to share the information to make it easier for both of us. Right, so there's the groups, there's the pages. 4x4 Diesel's good. Now 4x4 Adventures, that's our touring channel. There's a lot of information there on, very educational as well if you check out those videos, and there'll be more coming as well. Client group, so only if you're a client you join 4x4 Diesel VIPs. You've got to answer the questions. If you're not a client, you won't get let in. You just embarrass yourself again. And the gold class is for anybody that makes a donation. It's a contribution to a separate account where we've got some money sitting there for people in Australia that may end up with a cracked piston, that have done all the right things, replace their injectors, doing all the right maintenance. Generally they'll be in the VIP group sort of thing. You don't have to be in the VIP group and be a client to contribute. That's why we've got a whole separate group, right? If you make a contribution, you just text me. If you're in the VIP group, then you just you can look up the details of the bank account, chuck in 50 or 100 bucks, whatever you feel like. We've talked about that in other videos. And then you can join gold class. Make sure you answer the questions and tell me your real name and when you made the payment so that we can look it up, because again, we don't let you in there unless you've made a contribution. That's what the group's for. And of course our 2 awesome YouTube channels. Guys, thanks for watching. It's a bit, kind of some people are going to say, oh, don't worry about the haters. Oh, I'm not worried about the haters, it's all good. We've just got to do these things sometime to try and explain the whole situation, maybe for Neil, maybe for myself, and maybe for anyone else that wants to know, to help avoid the situation next time, and so that people can understand when they get a response like that. I'm talking to the phone. I hit the microphone. I go, sorry mate, I'm busy at the moment. You'll have to get back. And then bang, it's literally a 5 to 10 second response. If the words are wrong, if it doesn't have any context, it hasn't got any tone of voice, hasn't got any, that's what it is. That's the problem with text, so just beware of that. I'm always cool, there's no dramas here, but I'm trying to help you here. Help me, help you, help me. I'm out here, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell on, and check out all the other videos because they're better than this, but don't waste your money on a MAF sensor at the moment. Oh, one other little tip on the MAF sensors. If you've got a 150 Prado, it is different, so don't even buy one of those because it'll be different. And it's got a smaller O-ring, and we don't have the O-ring for that, so it's a different design here. Smaller O-ring, and we don't have that one. It's these ones, particularly on Hiluxes where we've seen the issues. So Hilux and 120s we have if you're buying other parts kits only. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.